Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again to talk about Your Honor. This week's episode is called Part 6. Very creative episode title. I applaud them for their creativity in coming up with a title so good that it's just called Part 6. It's not called Blackmail. It's not called anything that actually has to do with the episode. It's just called Part 6 because this show is so good, apparently, that it doesn't even need titles. I mean, why do movies even have titles? I mean, is there really a difference between Batman v Superman and Avengers Endgame? I mean, come on. I really think we just need to ban titles altogether. No, I'm just kidding about that, but I really don't like that. It's really getting to me, this not having a title, because it's such an easy thing to do. I mean, it doesn't take that long compared to like writing a script, doing all the stuff it takes to actually make a television show. I mean, you'd think that the least of their worries would be to come up with a fucking title. But apparently it's too hard, so they didn't come up with any titles. But yeah, this week's episode, I really liked it. It was so much better than last week's shitty episode. Last week's episode, I think after a lot of reflection, after people calling me an inbred hillbilly, calling me a Dorito eater, a basement dweller, fatso, all that amazing stuff, after so many people, a cracker, after people really helping me understand that I'm just a fat loser who, his opinion doesn't matter because his opinion doesn't line up with yours. I think after all that reflection that, last week's episode still fucking sucked. It was a piece of shit. I would give that episode an F-, an F for filler, and an F for fuck you. Now, I'd like to get to this week's episode. This week's episode was really good. I mean, it had a lot of dark humor. It had a lot of amazing little character moments with people just talking about, with Adam talking about the last moment he had with his mom, with Fia talking about the last moment with Rocco. I really liked that little character stuff, and I liked the pacing of this episode was really good. It was really fast-paced. It just, it went. It was like, it wasn't slow. It didn't feel like they were adding any little filler, unnecessary scenes. Overall, I really liked it. It basically, most of the episode revolved around Michael finding the blackmailer, and he had this little I really liked that scene with him and Nancy where he's getting the names from her, and of course, she shows she's a little corrupt too, because she goes to the bathroom and lets him have the names of the people who have the same license plate. And then he you have the little cliche list thing where you have a list of names, and then it's not the first name, it's not the second name, no, it's got to be like the third or fourth name who's the one. And I liked learning this little backstory of the blackmailer, because we get this little backstory where it's basically like this blackmailer's like the stupidest, most just inept person in the universe, and he was born wrong, which I didn't even know that was a thing where you're born and your ass comes out first, and so you're born wrong. I didn't even know that existed, but this blackmailer, he's such a trash person that he was born wrong, and he's mentally insane, and it's so funny learning this little backstory, this little. I mean, they didn't even have to do that too. They could have just had the essential stuff of you know, he has this car. His dad is in the nursing, but they gave this like little backstory, which I liked that. And then I liked Michael. You know, I'm really troubled with Michael because honestly, since he's lied so much, I can't really tell what he's actually thinking or feeling anymore. You know, when he talks, when he's doing the little emotional scenes, I can't really tell if it's real or not. Like it's like he's having this sob story and giving it to this old guy, and it's like, you know, I don't know, I don't know if he's actually feeling that, but he did a good job, I guess, with the acting. And so he basically finds out that this stupid blackmailer, he wanted a boat, and that's why he wanted the money. And I thought the only questionable thing, now that I'm thinking about it, is basically Michael hires the blackmailer, hires him to drive him. And of course the blackmailer doesn't know it's him, which I thought was very strange because, I mean, you can clearly tell it's him. You can clearly tell it's his voice. I mean, come on. How many people's voices actually sound like Bryan Cranston? I mean, Bryan Cranston has a distinct, smooth talking voice, and so I thought that was a little unrealistic. I guess, I mean, he's talked to him on the phone. He should know what his voice sounds like. I thought that was a little silly, but I still give this episode an A. I really liked it. I thought it was, you know, it was pretty good. I think that next week's episode will be better, hopefully, because, I mean, it's almost over. We have like 4 episodes left. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes. And, you know, another thing that was really cool about this episode was that Adam was actually tolerable. I mean, I don't really have a bad thing to even say about Adam. I mean, you know, the whole season he's done a good job at acting. It's just, I don't like his character. However, in this episode, his character is fine. I really like Fia. She's done a great job, and I like her character. And yeah, and of course, we all knew that from the previews that Jimmy was gonna somehow have Michael be like a corrupt judge for them. You know, we all knew that. I mean, the previews hinted at it. And they actually showed, like, footage, I think, probably from the next episode. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Because I used to make a lot of predictions, especially when I reviewed TV shows, but I don't anymore because my predictions never turn out right, basically. It's like a 90% possibility I won't be right. And then at the end of the episode, we got this, like, great little sequence where it's pretty thrilling. We get Michael bought the boat for this blackmailer, and then we think everything is going to be all right, and then, of course, Jimmy pops out of the corner with his henchmen, and we get this little Breaking Bad-esque scene where Michael is groveling, and he's on his knees, and he's like, please, Jimmy, I can help you. I know this one thing, and it's just going to be this one little particular thing that I just happen to know at this point. It's going to get me out of being killed. And it's like, you know, such like it's like, talk about plot conveniences. I mean, this show is so much full of just like coincidences and just like, oh, at this blackmail meetup, he just happened to have a call where Lee tells him about Carlo being arrested and how there's all this evidence against him. You know, that just happened to happen right when he's at the blackmail meetup, which just happened to happen right before Jimmy finally confronts him. You know, it's such a opportune timing. You know, but it didn't bother me because it was just really well done and really well executed. And of course, Jimmy kills the blackmailer because he knows stuff. And I thought that was cool. I wasn't mad about that, I would have been mad a little bit if well, it's hard to describe. Like you know what I mean, like where there's like a character and you think they're going to be really important and then they get killed off. I didn't feel that. I just kind of felt like I was fine with it. I kind of thought the blackmailer would be a little bit more important in the rest of the season, since he has that video and everything. I wonder what's going to happen with that. If he had his phone on him, where his phone is, if he made copies of the video, because this show has had so many coincidences that all these like little things that you didn't think about will come up, and they'll just come up out of nowhere, to have more story happen, basically. And so I like seeing Jimmy do something dirty with his own bare hands. That sounded wrong. But people have complained in the comments. Normal people have complained that Jimmy has not really done anything dirty besides killing the parakeet. Obviously he did bad things indirectly, where he just ordered things to happen, but he did not do things himself. And so I think finally seeing him kill someone, it's about time, because this guy is supposed to be evil. He's supposed to be an evil force. He is supposed to be a badass evil leader, and like so far, I mean, this is probably the most evil thing he's done. And it's like, this is episode 6 out of 10. So I hope we get to see him do more evil stuff, because to be honest, I don't care about Michael. I don't care about Adam. I don't care about Lee. I don't care about Nancy. I don't care about Franny. I don't care about basically anybody except for the Baxter family. I don't care about the kid who's homeless now, because that whole plot is retarded. So, yeah, I mean, well, I guess I kind of care about Elizabeth, because she probably, and then I felt bad for the old guy, of course, the old guy who has this terrible blackmailer son. But yeah, I really don't like Michael anymore. Just every episode, he just gets more unlikable, because he just keeps on lying. He just keeps lying. Adam can't even tell him he has a girlfriend now, because, Michael, because she's connected with the whole accident. And then, Michael's like trying to plan out Adam's future, saying, you're going to go to New York and it's going to be better for you. And, you're just going to do it and it's going to be good. And, it's like Michael has like an agenda with everything. Like every little thing he says, it's like he was just having this like nice little chat with his son in the kitchen while he was making pretty good looking sandwiches, to be honest. And those sandwiches look pretty good. And then all of a sudden Adam is like having a nice little dialogue, and then Michael just comes out of nowhere with, New York is going to be really good for you. And I'm like, God, you're so manipulative and just evil. I mean, I think Michael is probably one of the most evil characters on the show. I mean, so far he's done a couple of good things, but for the most part, he's really evil. He's manipulative. I really hope Michael and Adam get caught. Sorry, but I do. And I hope that Jimmy somehow gets killed as well. That's my only predictions, because I'm not going to make any other ones that just never happen. People just go like, what? Like, what is he thinking with these weird predictions? So yeah, I like this episode once again. I can't wait to see next week's part 7, as it's going to be called. And yeah, if you like this episode, give it a like, thumbs it up, thumbs it down, comment, subscribe, all that crap the YouTubers tell you to do. So goodbye, everybody. See you soon.